anytime.
Hi there folks, Don Harmon here in the Fox 4 Weather Center. A video blog here about 11:30. So this is an 11:30 vlog on your Friday morning. First off, most of today's probably going to be dry. Don't have rain in the forecast. High today about 90. Dew points near 70, so kind of typical for August. We haven't had a really bad summer. It's been at or a little bit below normal temperature-wise, with precip, at least for the last month, in many cases well below normal. We're going to get into now, I think, as we get into the weekend and next week, a more typical little spell of hot weather that we usually get, whether it be in July or August. It'll start this weekend, maybe last for the next week or 10 days. I want to show you the broader satellite view first, and there are a couple things you'll notice. First off, I want to draw your attention to this storm up here over parts of central Canada. Fairly good-sized storm, tried to drag a little air mass change into our area today. It made it into extreme northern Missouri and parts of Iowa. We'll stick this into motion, and you can clearly see that storm over Hudson Bay spinning around, but the effect of it on our sensible weather was really not very much other than a slight drop in dew points. Now, the heat that we've had out west, 110 degree heat out west, is going to slide towards the east over the next couple of days. You'll notice on the upper level flow pattern, there's that cold storm, by the way, moving through Hudson Bay, and the ridge that was centered out west, parts of the Rockies. Watch what happens. Initially, most of the summer centered out here. As we go through time, that ridge starts to move into the central and southern plains. So our heat then will move into this part of the country, as the western states may start to cool off as the trough moves in there. So the heat is just going to shift from the western states where it was into the central plains. We haven't really had a big spell of hot weather yet, so it's coming our way. Next week, by the way, highs probably most of the days around 95 with dew points probably in the low 70s. So your heat index for a good chunk of next week, at least during the afternoon, could be around 100, maybe up to about 105. Not extreme heat, but it's going to wear you down, I think, after a couple of days. By the way, a little sidebar to our heat. It's starting to feel more tropical for us. Dr. William Gray, a big hurricane researcher, Colorado State University, you've heard about his forecast probably a lot. His initial forecast for this tropical storm season, hurricane season, was 17 named storms, 9 hurricanes, 5 intense hurricanes, Category 3 or greater. He has reduced that. He's gone from 17 storms down to 15, 9 hurricanes down to 8, and 5 intense storms down to 4. He has to get a lot of work done. I want to show you the Atlantic right now, and there's not a lot going on in the Atlantic. Of course, here's southeastern part of the country. Way over here is the coast of Africa. There's a little wave off the coast of Africa that they'll probably watch, and also a little wave here in parts of the Caribbean. But other than that, the Atlantic is still really very, very quiet. Just a little food for thought, as some of the hurricane folks are reducing their expectations for a relatively active hurricane season in the Atlantic. That's the latest vlog, about 11:30 on your Friday. Have a good weekend. Try to stay cool. The heat really builds back, or builds in for the first time next week. Have a good weekend.